This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 14 in the National Football League. Big one in Arizona as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Kansas City Chiefs in a huge matchup between two teams riding two-game skids. Somebody is going to win this game. The other team is going to be in a world of hurt. And even though the records are vastly different, Kansas City coming into the game at 7-5 and Arizona coming into the game at 9-3, a loss by either one of these outfits could put their season in serious jeopardy. If you're Kansas City, you fall to 7-6. In the AFC, the way that it's constructed right now, with all of these 7-5 teams, you fall behind that group. A couple of these teams are going to ascend to 8-5. You look at your division, you got a Denver Broncos team probably going to win that division. You got a San Diego Chargers team probably going to make the postseason the way they're playing football. You can't afford to lose this game and lose your third in a row. You're going in the wrong direction at the most critical juncture of the season. Got to have this one if you're Kansas City. For Arizona, for all of the good you've done this season, for the red-hot start, for all of the accolades that Bruce Arians has received and all the notoriety this team has garnered throughout their start this year with all the injuries and all of the things they've done defensively and Todd Bowles, really just whatever parts he's had, he's been able to get it done with this season. For all of those things they've done to put themselves on the map this year. We've even been talking about the Super Bowl and it being hosted in Arizona this year. Could the Cardinals be the first team to play in the Super Bowl? All of that chatter. This Cardinals team, 2-game losing streak, no Carson Palmer, at 9-3, are in jeopardy of not only losing this division after having it seemingly in the bag just 3 weeks ago, they could miss out on the postseason. It's very possible. I mean, you look at the way the NFC is set up, with Detroit right there at 9-4, with Dallas at 9-4, you lose this game and you drop to 9-4, despite having victories over those two teams. They could easily win this, win a couple more games, get to 11-5 on the season, and you could finish this season at 10-6 and miss out on the postseason. So nothing is guaranteed to this Arizona Cardinals team. That's why this one is big. And I said this in the breakdown and preview for this game that everybody wants to count Arizona out. I'm not one of them because they still have 2 home games, counting this one, remaining. And they've been lights out at home, and I expect them to continue their dominance at home. So off to the University of Phoenix Stadium we go as we break down this huge matchup in Arizona. Cards draw first blood with a field goal on the opening drive. They're able to move it down the field, can't get in the end zone. That's been a problem of late for this Arizona Cardinals team, converting on long drives and getting into the end zone. They weren't able to do it here, but they do get a field goal. It's 3-0 Arizona early in this game. Kansas City responds immediately with a 3-play, 71-yard drive. The headliner of that drive, a 63-yard Jamal Charles touchdown scamper, bounces off a tackle, off to the races. Never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. Jamal Charles does it again. I don't know where this Chiefs team would be without him. It's now 7-3 in this game. That's your score at the end of the first quarter. We move on to the second. Cards put together a lengthy drive aided by a personal foul penalty on Tamba Hali for going to the knees of Drew Stanton. They almost lose the football as Justin Houston gets to the quarterback. That guy is phenomenal. Chiefs are going to have to re-sign him. That's not an optional debate there. They have to put ink to paper with Justin Houston at some point. And so he gets the sack, forced fumble, but the Cardinals are able to recover, settle for a field goal, 7-6. Cards only down 1 in this game. After a Calais Campbell sack forces a 3rd and 19, Debo, Debo catches a football on a slant, makes 2 defenders misses. He leaps over them with a very acrobatic play, gets to the first down sticks, picks up 23 on 3rd and 19 to extend the drive. What a huge play by Debo. Debo. I'm going to just tuck mine in. A couple of plays later, Jamal Charles gets loose out of the backfield on a flare route, out in the flats, catches the football, makes a couple of defenders miss, as only Jamal Charles can never, ever trust a man with 2 first names, gets into the end zone from 18 yards out as the Kansas City Chiefs now up 14-6 in this game. That's a bad start for the Arizona Cardinals, a team that has been struggling to score points of late. You don't want to fall behind, and this is a Chiefs team that is predicated on scoring points and grinding teams out to an oblivion. So to go down 14-6 early in this game, bad omen for the Arizona Cardinals on the road. However, this is a team that at home has persevered through a lot of adversity all season long. So they're able to kind of right the ship, settle in, don't give up any more points in the first half. As a matter of fact, they are able to get down the field right before the half to set up a Catanzaro field goal attempt, but he misses from 36 yards right before the half. I thought Drew Stanton almost had a boo-boo. Great play by Jerron Brown to play defensive back on essentially a jump ball thrown up by Drew Stanton in double coverage. Bad decision, even worse throw. Luckily enough for him, Jerron Brown was playing some serious D on the play. Gave them an opportunity to kick the field goal, but Catanzaro doesn't cash in anyway. It's 14-6 at the halftime break. 45-yard gain by Michael Floyd. Where has this guy been over the last month and a half of the season? Good to see him get involved. Thought he had a really good showing in this game. That 45-yarder leads to a field goal. It's now 14-9. Cardinals chip into that lead after an Anthony Fasano touchdown is called back because of pass interference on Anthony Fasano. So an OPI on Fasano clears a touchdown. That would have been a huge play. They score that touchdown, this game is over. But that OPI is called. 2 plays later, ball is deflected and picked off by Alex Okafor. Huge play by the Cardinals as they get pressure on him. They're able to get that interception. You know, Alex Smith doesn't turn over. Da-da-da! Captain Chapter! He doesn't turn it over much. But that was a huge play by this Cardinals defense. I talk about the perseverance of this Cardinals team, especially when they're at home. They find a way to get it done. That was a huge play. And because of that huge play, they have an opportunity to really do some damage to the Cardinals. And before I move on, Alex Smith, we've made a lot about him not pushing the football down the field. Well, on that possession, to set them up in that scoring range, he rolls out on a 3rd down, launches it about 40 yards in the air to Jason Avant for a 42-yard grab. So, I mean, I know it wasn't a touchdown, but the Chiefs are starting to move the football down the field just a tad. But all of that for naught, picked off by the Cardinals. And so now they're in business. After a couple of nifty runs by Kerwin Williams, he was huge in this game. We'll talk about Kerwin Williams a little bit later on. Drew Stanton finds Jerron Brown on a 3rd and long situation. And that was about a 3rd and 18 after he had just taken a sack. So this is a huge play. Jerron Brown able to win up the seam. Beautiful throw by Stanton. He gets in the end zone from 27 yards out. It is now a 15-14 game. They go for 2. John Carlson barely sneaks by the goal line on a catch. They reviewed it. I don't think they had enough evidence to overturn it. You could argue that he did get in, he didn't get in. Either way, it's good. It's now 17-14 after the 2-point conversion by John Carlson. Cardinals up 14-17 in this game, their first lead first lead since 3-0 in the first quarter. So you go to the 4th quarter, the Chiefs are able to move the football down the field. They're matriculating the football down the field as only the Chiefs can. They have a costly turnover as Jason Kelce catches the football. After he catches the football and is getting some good yards after the catch, he is stripped of the football by the rookie Deone Bucannon. And initially, he's ruled down on the play. And Justin Bethel smartly and alertly picks the football up. Even though the play is being whistled dead, he still picks the football up, which is a clear recovery by the Cardinals. All you teams out there, take a look at this. Even if you're not sure, pick the football up anyway. Make sure that if it is challenged, you can be awarded the football because of a clear recovery. Bethel picks it up. They take a look at it. Great challenge. Arians, who had already lost the challenge in the game, was heady enough to say, you know what, I think this one is worth taking a look at. They're on their way to either tie this game with a field goal or going ahead with a touchdown. I think it's important enough that I use this challenge. And whether we win or not, I got to challenge this and have them take a look at it. The review shows that the ball was moving. He never repossessed the football after it started to move. And Buchanan was able to knock it out of his grasp as they rolled over, scooped up by Justin Bethel. It's Cards football. Great job by that officiating staff of overturning that, because the league has done a lousy job in overturning plays that should be overturned. They've done this whole thing where it's usually, hey, we're just going to stick with the call on the field. If we don't know, we're not sure. And sometimes I think they're doing that to a fault. They didn't do that here. Great job by them to overturn this call because it was the right call. It was a fumble, and they're rewarded the football. And that was a huge play because the Cards get a couple of chunk plays by Kerwin Williams. So let's talk about Kerwin Williams, because you have all these injuries. No Andre L.A.B in this game, and Stephon Taylor has been banged up as well. And so you're dealing with all these injuries at the running back position. You go out and you get Marion Grice off of the San Diego Chargers practice squad. He's solid, but he's a rookie. So you bring in Kerwin Williams, a journeyman running back, had some time in the league last year with the Colts and did some things with them. But at the end of the day, he's a guy that, you know, he's a solid guy, but you don't expect a lot of. He comes into this game and has 100 yards rushing on 19 carries. He, to me, was the difference offensively on the ground for this Cardinals team that lacks a running game each and every single week. That Andre L.A.B is not in the lineup. And so he was huge in this game. He gets a couple of chunk plays, moves the football into field goal range, and does a couple of things with that drive. One, they eat up precious time off the clock. Two, they force the Chiefs to use all of their timeouts. And three, puts the Arizona Cardinals in an advantageous position to kick a field goal. They make that field goal, they're up 6. We know the Chiefs, the one thing they can't do is strike quickly. They don't have a receiving touchdown by a receiver, and I know we make a lot about that, but there's a reason, because it matters. And they're not a quick strike offense. They don't score quickly. They're a methodical offense that needs to work the football down the field. Unless Jamal Charles gets you, you already know he got you for 63 earlier in the game. So unless he's the guy doing the striking, this team does not score quickly. So that was a huge possession for Arizona. But Catanzaro, who struggled on the day, 5 field goal attempts, missing 2 of them, both of them hitting the uprights, misses again. And so Chiefs have a golden opportunity with 1 minute and 12 seconds left to do some damage. Catanzaro can't connect from 34 yards. Can the Chiefs move it down? But we've seen this story before with Kansas City. Same thing in the Oakland game. Had an opportunity late in the game to go down the field and get something done. This team does not operate well in a late game situation when they have to hurry up, because they're a dink and dunk offense with Alex Smith. Captain Checkdown is Captain Checkdown for a reason. When you start asking him to push the football 22 yards down the field, 17 yards down the field, 31 yards down the field, it's a problem. And with limited time and resources, this team you knew weren't going to have the best opportunity to get down there. And the one thing I love about the Cardinals, they've done this all year long. It's been their calling card. Hey, we live by the blitz, we die by the blitz. And Todd Bowles and the defense, he dialed it up again. Todd Bowles has been doing this all year long, especially in pressure situations late in games. He doesn't care. Hey, look, I'm either getting to the quarterback or you're going to have to beat me, but I'm coming after you. And he did it again, forced Alex Smith and his team off the field on 4 straight downs as the Arizona Cardinals hold on for dear life, 17-14. I said that they would win this game because I thought they would be able to get it done at home. They did. They got one more home game. It's important that they win that game against Seattle. That game is going to decide who wins the NFC West. For Kansas City, this loss practically puts your season on the brink of being done. I mean, you're literally on life support. At 7-6, you have to run the table and get help to get into the postseason now. You're not dead yet, but this game did irreparable damage to your playoff hopes. You're still there, but you've got a lot of work to do, and you need a ton of help to get in. That's going to do it for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals go to 10-3 on the season, stay ahead of the game in the NFC West. Again, huge matchup on Thursday Night Football versus the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis. That's going to be a tough one to get. We'll see what happens for Kansas City. Tough loss, 7-6. A lot of work to do. You're going to have to get on your horse and see if you can't make a run at this thing moving forward. That's going to do it for this breakdown. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me because I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 14, the National Football League. See you in a bit.